Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to explain the basic settings today for you in part 2. So this is the settings which I'm going to explain you today. So before that, you will be having, some of you guys will be having doubts. Why am I having these two buttons over here? Where is my assistive touch? Where is my assistive touch? Shit. Yeah, it's here. Okay. So why am I having these two buttons? Why I can't play with a single button? You will be having these doubts with you. So let me tell that to you in a moment. Okay. But at the end of the video I'll be telling this. Before that, let's start the video. I hope you're all doing well. So please do stay safe during this COVID-19 period. I have to go to training ground to show this to you. I'm going to training mode and I'll explain things to you really quick. Okay, so I'm using echo, and this is how I play. This is my play style, and so let's start with basics and aim assist. What does aim assist do? So as a new player, you will be having a really hard time to aim. You know, the enemy is here, but it will be really hard for you to move and keep track of the enemy. You know, tracking this targets over here, it will be hard for you. For me, it's easy because I'm playing always on gyro, and I have got adapted to this gameplay, so I'm tracking this easily. But for players who are just starting the game, it will be hard for you to track the target. So the developers have provided an option which is called aim assist. If your aim is nearly close to the enemy, the system is automatically going to help you. It is going to assist you to shift it to the target's head. So this is actually cheating, I know that, but for new players, there is no option because they are playing in mobile. It will be hard for them. They will not be playing, all the players will not be playing gyro. They will be playing only with, you know, by swiping their screens. It will be hard for them. Some of them will be having wet hands. It will be hard for them to drag the screen properly. So if you have wet hands, please do buy a thumb sleeve. There is a link in the description. You can buy the thumb sleeve from there. So it is just 200 rupees within India, and you will be having separate delivery charges. You can contact the Instagram page in the description. So that is why the developer have provided this option. So if you are aiming little bit closer to the enemy, the system is going to help you and move your aim to the target's head. But what these pro players does is they are using aim assist, so they are already good with their aim. You know, in my case, I'm already good with my aim. See, I'm already good with my aim. Even while hip firing and while doing ADS, I'm already good with my aim. But can you see there is a little bit of wobble while moving, sliding and jumping? But when you have this aim assist on, if there is a real enemy over there, he is going to get a nice hit from me. You know, he is going to get a nice hit from me because it is going to help you. See, initially my aim is not on the head, but if I have turned the aim assist on, he is going to die. He is going to die for sure. My aim is already good, and this aim assist is helping me a lot. So I'm going to kill the enemy quicker. So these pro players turning this on helps them a lot. So this is cheating, but this option is there. They are using that, so I have to also use this because I don't want to get killed by a new player or and another pro player easily, because I have turned this off. Because in Call of Duty Mobile, most of the fights which you are going to come through is close encounters, close encounters. It is going to be below 10 to 20 meters. So you have to turn this on, no other go. Okay, so I'm turning this on. So next thing is quick run from prone. What does this do? See, let me turn this off and explain things to you. I'm proning right now, and I'm going to drag my joystick really hard, really hard. See what happens. I'm just crawling on the mud. Okay, see what happens if I turn this on. I'm going to drag this joystick really hard now. See what happens. I'm running. I'm not crawling on the mud. I'm running. So that is the uh, that is this that is the purpose of this switch. Okay, so I think this is lot more useful to be mobile. So I'm using this switch. So I'm turning this on. So the next switch is fixed virtual joystick display position. For this option to be available, you have to turn this off. So I'm turning this off. So this is also off. See what happens right now. Let me explain that to you. So I'm going to tap here. My joystick is here, but I'm going to tap here and move right. See what happens. As soon as I tapped, my joystick moved there. See, as soon as I tap on the left side of the screen, my joystick moves there. And if I drag right, my avatar is going to move. So if I turn this on, what is going to happen is, if I tap here and move right, my avatar is going to move, but this joystick over here stays in the same position. See what happens. I'm going to tap here and move right. I'm going to tap here and drag right. See what happens. Tapping here and dragging right. My avatar moves, but the joystick stays in the same position. So that is the purpose of this switch over here. But what is the purpose of fixed joystick switch? Let me turn this on and show to you. Now I'm going to tap the same position and I'm going to drag right. I have tapped the same position. I'm going to drag right. See, my camera moves, not my joystick. My camera moves because this is a fixed button. Only if you tap inside the joystick and if you drag right, your avatar is going to move. If you tap outside the circle and if you drag right or left or up or down, your avatar is not going to move. Your aim is going to move. So I'm going to tap inside the circle and drag right. See what happens. My avatar is moving. I'm going to tap outside the circle and drag right. My camera moves. That is the purpose. I'm used to this in PUBG Mobile, so I'm playing the same in this also. So that is why I'm leaving this on. So the next thing is release right fire button of shotgun to hip fire. So let me take this shotgun over here. This is KRM 262. So for this option, you have to turn this to hip fire. So if you are in one tap ADS, it is not going to work for you. If you are in hip fire, this switch is really useful for you. See what happens. So if I tap this button, I'm going to fire instantly because this is my left fire button, not my right fire button. So this is my right fire button. If I tap this, I'm going to fire, but that is not exactly what is going to happen. If I tap this and hold, I'm not going to fire. Only after releasing this button, my bullet comes out of my gun. See, I'm tapping. Shit, I think I have turned this off. So I'm turning this on. Only if you release, it is going to fire. See, only if I release this button, it is going to fire. I'm tapping and holding, but it is not firing yet. I'm going to release it now and it is firing. So if I turn this off, there is no difference. There is no difference between this and this. Okay, there is no difference. So if I tap, it is going to fire. If I tap and hold, it would have fired already before releasing. See, I'm going to tap and hold. See what happens. I'm tap and holding, but it fired, it has, my bullet has came out of the gun already. So there is no use if you are playing with this one tap ADS, because what is going to happen is, I'm going to tap and hold, see what happens. Only if I release, it is going to fire. But if I tap this, it is not going to fire either, because my scope hasn't opened fully. See, I'm tapping, it is not firing. But if I tap this, it is going to fire. So I'm playing with this one tap ADS, so this button is of no use for me. So the next thing is fast throw grenade. What is this option? Actually, I can't show this to you in training ground. I have to show this in layout for you right now. So if I tap this, my avatar is going to throw the grenade instantly if I have turned this switch on. I think you got my point. So if I tap this, I'm going to throw the nade without cooking, without holding the grenade for some time. I'm going to throw the nade instantly. But if I turn this setting, if I turn this setting off, if I turn this switch off, if I turn the switch off, if I tap this, it won't do anything. It will just have the grenade on my hand, and it won't do anything. I'll have the grenade on my hand. If I press this or this button, I'm going to cook, and if I release it, I'm going to throw it. Okay, so that is how it works. The next thing is joystick auto sprint. So what does this switch do? Let me explain this to you. So you have to go to control custom layout again. So just move this aside for a clear view. So this thing here, this thing here is closely related to that switch. So while playing, if I tap and drag it here and I leave it, if I tap here, drag it to this position, if I leave it, I'm going to sprint only if this switch is on. If this switch is off, this is not going to work. If I tap and drag it and leave it, I'm going to stand still. I will not sprint anymore. Okay, so that is the purpose of that. So I can show that to you right now. Let me show that to you also. So I have turned this off right now. See what happens. I'm going to drag it and I'm going to leave it. I'm dragging and I'm leaving. See, my avatar has stopped. I'm dragging and I'm leaving. I have dragged to this position and I'm leaving, but my avatar is not moving. But if I turn this switch on, see what happens. I'm dragging and I'm going to leave. See, my avatar is sprinting right now. See, I'm going to tap, drag, and I'm going to leave it. My avatar is sprinting. That is the purpose of that switch. So I think you got the point. So the next thing is fix a joystick. I have already explained it to you. The next thing is right fire button for fixed perspective. What does this do? So let me turn this off and explain to you. So if I turn this off, right fire for fixed perspective, if I turn this off, what happens? Have I explained this switch? I think I haven't explained this switch. Did I? I forgot it. Okay, let me explain this to you again. So let me explain this first and I'll come to this. So fixed right fire button. What does this do? In my previous video in part 1, I have told you that if I tap this button and if I drag it down, my aim is not going to change. But if I tap this and if I drag it down, my aim is going to change. Am I right? So keep this in mind. This is going to be useful in this switch. So if this switch is on, my button stays here. If this switch is off, my button doesn't stays here. If I tap in any part of, if I tap in the on the empty section on any part of the right side of the screen and hold it for some time, I'm going to fire. Okay, I'm going to turn this off and show it to you in a moment. So I have turned this thing off. See, I'm going to tap here and hold it for a second. See what happens. See, I'm aiming right now, but there is no sorry, let me tap here because the button is already here. So let me tap here and show to you. See, I'm tapping and holding for a microsecond. So I'm going to ADS. So this will be clearly visible with echo. So I'll show to you that. So see, the button has moved here. So I'm going to tap here and hold for a second. It is shooting. But if I tap here and I drag it instantly, if I tap here and drag instantly, see what happens. Nothing happens. It doesn't shoot. But if I tap on this button and I drag it, nothing happens. And if I tap here on the top of the section and if I drag it, nothing happens either. But if I tap the button and I move it, if I tap the button exactly and if I move it, and I'm going to shoot, see what happens. So I'm going to tap and hold and move, I'm shooting. But if I move too fast, I can't aim. So I don't want this to happen. Sorry guys, sorry, my charge is out. So I don't want that. I want my button here. I don't want my button all over the right side of the screen. So that is what this switch does. Okay, I'm going to turn this on because of that. So the next thing is about this switch, right fire button for fixed perspective. I have turned this off right now. See what happens. I'm going to tap this button and I'm going to drag it down. See what happens. I'm going to tap it and I'm dragging down. My aim is changing. See, my aim is changing. I can change it too quickly if I swing it up and down. I'm not swinging the mobile. Actually, I'm just swiping on the screen. But my aim is changing. I don't want that to happen. It works like this very button, you know. It is not a fixed button. It is a movable button like this. But only thing is, I'm going to ADS. See, if I tap this button and if I drag it down, my aim is going to move. See, my aim is going all over the space because I'm tapping and dragging on the screen. I'm pressing and dragging on the screen. So if I turn this switch on, if I tap and drag, my aim won't change. My aim will be solid. So this is how I want my gameplay to be. So this is a fixed fire button. This is a movable fire button. I know this is not moving anywhere. What I'm trying to say is this is going to move my aim. Not this button is not going to move, but it is going to move if I press and drag it. Move my aim. Okay. If I press this button and if I drag it, my aim is not going to change. So my aim is going to be steady. So that is what I want, because I'll be tapping here and I'll be using my thumb and I'll be controlling the aim. So there is no use if this is also moving without any sense. So I'm using these two buttons turned on. So the next thing is hide prone button, hold crouch to prone. What does this do? I have turned this off. So I have a separate prone button over here. See, right now you can see this. I have a separate prone button. If I tap it, I can prone. If I tap it again, I can stand. If I tap it, I can prone. If I tap it again, I can stand. But if this is on. What does things happen? How does things work? There is no prone button over here, but if I tap and hold crouch, I'm going to prone. But if I'm if I'm sprinting, I'm going to slide. See, I'm tapping and holding, I'm proning. And if I'm sprinting and tapping and holding, I'm going to slide. See, this is how things work. So I don't want things to be work like that. I want a separate prone button, so I'm using this. So that's all for this video. This is part 2, and if your time is worth, please do hit a like button, and I also welcome donations. But right now most of you will not be doing any donations. That is completely acceptable because my channel is new. So please do watch my videos regularly, and please do support my channel. A like will be surely appreciated. So thanks for watching the video. Please do share this video with your friends if you want to share your knowledge. So thanks for watching.